Welcome to another episode of my productivity series. My name is Jerry Cobert, and in this week's episode, we're going to be talking all about how you can utilize Todoist with Spark. Coming up next. So, in this week's episode, I want to talk to y'all a little bit about how you can utilize Todoist with Spark. So, you might be asking, what is Spark? Well, I am a Mac guy. I actually used to be a PC guy, but then I went over to the Mac world and have never been happier. And no, I do not wish to spark a PC Mac war here today, but in any case, it just makes me happier being a Mac person. But with that being said, I love this email client called Spark that I came across not too long ago. I was using Apple Mail for quite some time, and then I transitioned to Newton Mail. When I learned about Todoist, I liked how Newton Mail was able to send tasks from that client over to Todoist. But then I came across Spark, and I really enjoyed its functionality. A little bit better than Newton. Now Newton's a good email client, but I think Spark just, I don't know why, it just kind of sparked something in me. Pardon the pun. But in any case, I really enjoy using Spark, and you can utilize Spark's and Todoist integration to be able to follow up on tasks that you might want to follow up on by just emailing that task over to Todoist. But it's not like an emailing over, but it's really just some sort of integration that it has when you can export that task or that email over to Todoist so you can follow up on it later. Now, of course, the downside, I don't know if it's really a downside, but you have to be on your Apple Mac in order to open up the mail on the clickable link that it puts in Todoist. It opens up in Spark, obviously. But for the most part, it does help me be able to know what the email was about, what I need to follow up on it. Then I can go back into Spark and follow up on my email. And for the most part, I do use my Mac for the majority of the day, especially for personal related issues. But at my day job in my PC world, I do not use that functionality. And in that day job of mine, it's not really necessary for me to use it. But in my personal life, it really comes in handy to use that function to follow up on any emails that I might want to follow up on. So with that being said, I want to take you on over to Spark and Todoist and show you the integration that I'm talking about so you can kind of understand the cool little things that you can do with Todoist and Spark. So let's get to it. So okay guys, here we are in Todoist, and I'm going to show you how you can forward tasks from your email client Spark into Todoist to take action on later. So if I open up my Spark here, I have an email here that I want to follow up on later. Maybe I'm in a time crunch, maybe it just came in and I'm fixing to head out for a meeting or what have you, and I want to go ahead and follow up on this later, but I might forget or what have you. And so what I can do here is I can right click on this email here, and I can go here to export and then to Todoist. Now, if you notice here, I can also export it to other things like Asana or Evernote. Maybe I need to export this note and I'm going to keep it for reference material at a later time. I can throw it in Evernote. And you can also click here on Add Service and check mark any of your other task management software that you might have on your computer. But in this instance, what we're showing today is I'm going to export this on over to Todoist. So I click on that. It pops up this little pop-up box, and you can do a couple things. You can either select the message to be in the email of the body of the comments of the task in Todoist, or you can select link. Now, because a lot of times I am on my Mac, I usually just go ahead and just do link, so I don't have all of this in the body of my comments of the Todoist task. But what I do is I just create a link here, and then I can click on that link and it takes me into Spark, and then I can go ahead and from there respond to the email, because that's really what I want to do anyways, right? So I'll usually leave it on there. And then I can also here, I can select where it's going to go, whether I want it to go in my inbox, and select whether I want it later today or tomorrow, or what date do I want to respond to this on. Typically, I leave this like it is, and I'll process that later at a later time. I don't do any processing right now because I'm not really ready to handle this or make any decision on this this task. So what I do here is I usually just leave it as link, and just like it is right here, and I just hit save. And so then I come over here to Todoist, and there it is in my inbox. A new comment on productivity, learning the basics, and then it says open up email in Spark, so I can just click on that and go ahead and respond to that when that time comes. And since I'm not going to do that, let's say when I get back from a meeting, I want to answer it, and I can go in there and do that, or I can go ahead and put that into an actionable step later and put that in for tomorrow, and P1, and voila, and it's off to the races. So that is how you can utilize Spark here in order to move stuff over. Now, another thing you can do here is when you're on the email, you can also go up here to 3 dots and click on Todoist right there as well. But I always find it just easier just to right click on the actual Todoist, pulls up the pop-up menu, and then I hit Todoist right there. So like I say, this is kind of a short little episode, but I did want to kind of give you all a brief understanding of how I utilize Todoist and Spark in order to help my productivity and follow up on things that I need to follow up on. So if you all have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those down there below in the comments section. And if you like this video, please click on the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe and click on that notification bell. And without further ado, I want to wish y'all an awesome day, and let's become more productive. Thank you.